On August 22, 2025, tragedy struck in Charlotte, North Carolina, when 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee Iryna Zarutska was fatally stabbed while riding the Lynx Blue Line light rail train. Iryna had fled the war in Ukraine in search of safety and opportunity in the United States, working as an aspiring artist and veterinary assistant. Surveillance footage later released revealed the chilling moment she was attacked. Sitting quietly on the train, she was approached by Decarlos Brown Jr, a 34-year-old man with a long history of arrests and violent behavior. Without any prior interaction, Brown suddenly pulled out a knife and stabbed Iryna multiple times, including a fatal wound to her neck. The horrifying footage shows passengers screaming in panic as she collapsed, while the suspect calmly exited the train moments later. He was immediately taken into custody by police waiting at the platform. The aftermath of the killing sparked outrage across the nation as details about Brown's criminal background emerged. With at least 14 prior arrests and a documented history of mental illness, many questioned how such an individual was free to roam the streets. Reports suggested that lenient policies and earlier bail releases had played a role in enabling him to commit this brutal crime. The Department of Justice quickly intervened, charging Brown with causing death on a mass transportation system, a federal crime punishable by life in prison or even the death penalty. Officials promised he would never walk free again, describing him as a danger to society who slipped through the cracks of both the justice and mental health systems. The release of the footage drew national attention, prompting a direct response from President Donald Trump. In a strongly worded address, Trump condemned Brown as a deranged monster and called the attack an example of soft-on-crime policies gone horribly wrong.
There was also a horrible killing recently in Charlotte, I talked about, and so many others. You know, when you have horrible killings, you have to take horrible actions.
This is a picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country.
He vowed a vicious response against violent repeat offenders, declaring that the government must use force and strength to protect law-abiding citizens. His statement struck a chord with supporters, highlighting the broader debate over public safety, bail reform, and mental health treatment in America.
And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. We have to respond with force and strength. We have to be vicious just like they are.
Meanwhile, Charlotte officials expressed heartbreak, pledging to strengthen transit security and prevent future tragedies. What began as a quiet evening commute turned into a devastating event that cut short the life of a young woman who had survived war only to fall victim to senseless violence. The tragic stabbing of Iryna Zarutska has become not just a story of loss, but also a rallying point for demands of accountability, justice, and lasting change.